Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kaylee if you are new here, and I am an online reseller. I go to thrift stores and I pick up items for cheap and I flip them on sites like eBay and Poshmark to make income. My hair does not look nearly as crazy in person as it does on camera right now, so I apologize for that. It's still in the process of drying. In today's video, we are going to be going over what's sold on all the platforms that I sell on. Last week, I will share my gross sales numbers with you, tell you my cost of goods, and then I'll show you some highlighted items that I think would be helpful to show you so that you know what to look for while you are at your thrift store. If you want to learn more about selling on eBay and Poshmark, you can subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell. That way you get notified when videos go live. I make tons of content about reselling, so consider subscribing. Let's jump into last week's numbers.
Alright, so all the sales that we're going to be talking about happened between January 3rd through the 9th, which is a Sunday through a Saturday. And in total, I sold 64 items for a gross sales total. By the way, gross means before any fees or any of my selling costs are taken out. And that gross sales total was $2,126.64, making my average sale price between items $33.23. My total cost of goods for everything that I sold last week, not just what I'm showing you on screen today, but everything that sold, was $276.60. And I threw this number in here just because you guys ask about it so much on my thrift hauls. While I am not giving out on the thrift hauls each individual cost of goods, you can refer to these videos to see average cost. So I went ahead and calculated it out for you. My average cost of goods for this past week was $4.32. And on any given week, just a regular week, I would say I'm usually between $4 and $5. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more, but on average, I would say between $4 and $5 is what I typically pay for an item. So I actually sold on 3 platforms last week. I sold on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. I sold 44 on eBay, 16 on Poshmark, and 4 on Mercari, which if you've been watching my channel, 4 is actually quite a bit to have on one of those other platforms. And I attribute this to me having one of my helpers start to cross-post all of my items over onto Mercari. She's not doing anything else as far as activity goes on that platform, just cross-listing and starting to get some of those items moved over. And over the past couple of weeks, I have noticed a spike in sales on there. So I'm really happy with 4 items, and hopefully that'll become another great source of income. Just throwing it out there, but the reason I am focusing on each of these platforms in that way is because eBay has the most users on the platform, and then Poshmark, and then Mercari, which is part of this other here. That's why I'm trying to focus on them in that manner as far as cross-posting everything over to each platform. My gross sales on eBay were about $1,500. On Poshmark, they were $420, and then on Mercari, they were $123. So we are going to jump into some highlighted sales. I will tell you guys, this what sold video is going to be a little bit different because usually I have quite a few home runs and really great items to pull from, but last week I sold almost exclusively bread and butter items, so like between $25 and $30. So that's a lot of what you're going to see today, but I thought it would be fun since I don't normally show you all the bread and butter items. I will show you some of those today so you can get an idea of what kinds of bread and butter items I'm picking up that help keep my store afloat. And because there are so many, I will try to go through them quickly. We are going to start with Mercari, which again had those 4 sales. So I sold this pink by Victoria's Secret women's sweatshirt. This sold for $24 with free shipping. Pink and Victoria's Secret are great brands to sell on any platform, but I have noticed on Mercari it seems to be very popular on here. This one even had a small spot, which you can see I did note, and some slight pilling, and it still sold for $24 with free shipping. This is a Calvin Klein women's khaki trench coat. I believe I paid up for this. I think I paid $10. I have had this listed for a while. You can probably tell from the pictures. And I originally had this listed for about $70, $75, and because I've been sitting on it long and I've been getting offers for between $40 and $50, I went ahead and accepted somebody's offer for $44 with free shipping. This item I think cost me about $8 roughly to ship, but I really like picking up Calvin Klein trench coats. I think that they do pretty well. This is a Rogue Fitness men's crew neck shirt. I picked this up for probably about $2, and this one sold very, very quickly on Mercari for $28 with free shipping. Shipping probably cost me about $3. A pink by Victoria's Secret women's yoga pant. Here, pink by Victoria's Secret. And these ones are just a fold over waistband yoga pant. I call them yoga pants whenever they have like boot cut or flare. And I do find that when there are sequins involved on pink or Victoria's Secret items, they tend to sell quicker. These ones sold for $27 with free shipping. Shipping probably cost me about $4 on these. Moving on over to eBay. These aren't like super exciting sales, but I did want to show you a few bras that I sold. I sell a lot of bras. You can get bras at the bins. When I used to go to the bins, I used to pick them up all the time. Pretty much any Victoria's Secret bra, as long as it's in decent condition, you can pick up for $1 or less, and you can flip them for between $14 and $25. $25 being the higher end if they're like a nice zip-up sports bra, or $14.99 being the lower end if they're just a plain everyday bra. And I also charge shipping on these typically, which they usually go first class. Even with a box will only cost you about $3 or $4. So this one was just a bralette, and I listed it for $19.87 and sent out offers. This sold for $17.88 plus shipping. These next two bras sold in a bundle, so the same person bought both, which makes sense because they were the same size and I believe the same style. So I had these each listed for $14.87. The other one is just black, which I actually had a typo in my listing here, but as you can see from the pictures, it is 36B. But both of those sold on a bundle for my full asking price, $14.87 each plus shipping. And last bra is another body by Victoria's Secret, and this one sold for my full asking price, again $14.87. So I just wanted to show you guys those because if you can pick those up for $1 or less, like I said, especially at the bins and they're in decent condition, pick them up because they flip really quickly, not only on eBay but on Poshmark as well. You can quickly rack up some change, and they're really easy to photograph. You can throw them on a table, throw them on a carpet, take a picture. They are great for flat lays. And this is a J. Crew women's line down puffer jacket. I like picking up puffer jackets in general, but J. Crew is a pretty well-known brand, and this was also fleece lined. As you can see from the tag, it was a little bit of an older style, but I knew that it would sell because of all these factors. So down puffer coats in general are just really great to pick up. I paid up for this. I paid $10, and it did sell at my full asking price for $44.99. Next is this Grice, is I think how you pronounce it, vintage leather jacket. I believe this was from the 1970s, and normally I wouldn't pick up leather jackets unless they're really unique or really well made or high quality material. In this case, this was very unique, and I just really like the color scheme. Very Western. I believe in my description I put Western and some other keywords and maybe ranch. This was also had that like fur lining. So I did notice this brand in certain styles was doing really well. I listed mine a little bit higher than other comps because I thought I had a more unique style. So don't be afraid to list your item higher if you think you've got something special. I listed this on Depop and on Grailed, and I honestly thought it would sell on one of those too, but to my surprise it actually sold very quickly on eBay for an offer of $50. These are a pair of flats that I picked up from a consignment shop, and these are calf hair pointed toe flats, almost like new condition. Calf hair and shoes I think is a great seller. So the calf hair you'll be able to tell because it feels like longer hair. You'll just be able to tell by the way the fabric feels, and usually it'll say calf hair and other things. On the description you can see this says dyed calf hair. J. Crew shoes can sometimes be a really good seller, again depending on style. This one sold for my full asking price of $39.91. All right, I've been selling a lot of Carhartt, and as you know, I have been picking up more kids items, and my strategy for picking up kids items is to simply look for the kids version of the adult stuff that I'm selling. So I noticed these Carhartt overalls, and I know that a lot of parents are doing photo shoots with Carhartt overalls. So as you can see, they are a toddler size. Really great condition. I listed these for $24.91. They sold really quickly on an international sale through the global shipping program. These are a pair of boots I actually picked up for myself. They were my size. However, after trying to wear them a couple times, they fit a little bit too tightly around my foot. So I decided to go ahead and sell them. They were really great condition. The brand is Franco Sarto, which isn't something I pick up often. But the reason I decided to pick these up, again, were because they were my size. They were made out of leather. They were really great condition. And the style was there. So these are very modern. Knee-high boots and add that like platform bottom that kind of looks like the flat Doc Marten boots. So for all those factors, I thought they were pretty modern. And I thought even if they didn't fit me, I would be able to sell them. I was really hoping I could keep them, but I decided to go ahead and list them. They sold really quickly after getting listed on an offer for $35.92, and I only paid $5 for these. Next is this Helmut Lang women's wrap top. Helmut Lang retails for a lot of money. However, the resale value and the sell-through rate is not always there. I picked this one up because it had lambskin leather trim, and I thought it was a beautiful piece. So I had this listed for $49.99 with free shipping, and it did sell at my full asking price. This is a pair of Nike Tech men's pants. Now, one thing I want to say about Nike is you always want to look up the style name on the inside. If you do that, you'll be able to tell if they're Nike Tech or not. And Nike Tech sells really well right now. This is the line that you want to look for. So had I just pick these up and not look them up, I probably would have listed them for $25 or $30, but I was able to find the exact style name, do exact comps, and price them accordingly. So I had these listed for $44.99 plus shipping, and they sold for my full asking price. And I only paid $3 for these. I found a few of these recently. These are Walls Men's Vintage coveralls. And in particular, the style is called the Insulated Blizzard Proof. If you come across these and you don't mind shipping them and you don't mind storing them because they are a little bulky, they do sell very, very well. I had this one listed for $49.91. It did sell at my full asking price, and I paid $10 for this. This is an LL Bean men's just thick flannel shirt. The style on the inside said traditional fit, and it was a camoist cloth shirt. These like work thick heavy duty shirts I do really well with. I had this listed for $29.99. Sent out offers, it sold for $26.99. This is a cashmere sweater by the brand Ben Silver, and I picked it up mainly because it was cashmere. And I probably should have steamed it because you can see there are a lot of wrinkles, but it still sold for a great asking price. I had this listed for $89.99. It sold on an offer for $80.99. I said recently in a haul video, I really love picking up Bowden dresses. And so this one was a nice Bowden striped dress, and it did have a little bit of pleating detail, which I think helped to sell it. Kind of nautical vibes, which I really liked. And I had this listed for $34.99. It sold for my full asking price. This is just a men's shirt. This brand I highly recommend picking up in both men's and women's, but men's do sell for a higher asking price. This is the brand Standard by James Purse. James Purse brands do really well. They do have vanity sizing, so you have to look at their size chart to see what that means. This translated to a size large. This was just a men's Henley shirt. Their stuff seems pretty basic, but that's what they're known for. They have a really great sell-through rate, and they sell sometimes for quite a bit, and sometimes for $20 or $25. It depends on what you have. This was a more substantial piece in a long sleeve Henley shirt, and it did sell for my full asking price of $34.99. Here is another J. Crew piece. This one was a men's denim jacket. I come across a lot of J. Crew items, but I only pick up the ones that I think are super substantial. This one I had listed for $34.29 and it sold for $30.86. An Ann Taylor cashmere sweater. So I picked this up not for the brand, but rather for the color, the material, and the all-over cable knit. Cable knit always adds value, and the fact that this was cashmere really helped to sell it. I had this listed for $29.99 and it sold on an offer for $25. Same thing with this brand. I did not pick it up for the brand, but rather the material. So this was a merino wool by Etcetera button down like peacoat. Really great condition. Really loved this jacket. I almost didn't pick it up because when I did comps for Etcetera and merino wool, there wasn't a huge sell-through rate, and honestly stuff wasn't selling for a lot. So that's another one of those cases where I went against the comps and I priced mine a little higher, and it did sell. So I priced this at $39.87, sent out offers for $35.88, and somebody accepted. I talk about these a lot, but I almost always pick up these sweaters by Lauren Ralph Lauren. They are waffle knit cowl neck sweaters, and they flip very, very quickly, only for about $25, but nonetheless, still a really, really great return on investment. This one actually sold in a bundle, but it did sell at full asking price for $24.91. So keep your eye out for this style in Lauren Ralph Lauren in all colors. They are excellent flips. I cannot tell you how many of these I've sold. I almost always pick them up. All right, and we're going to finish up with some Poshmark sales. This one surprised me. This was an American Eagle heathered purple sweater, just a viscose blend sweater, and I had this priced for $25 on eBay. However, when my helper cross posts or when I cross post, I always add $5 or $10 to account for offers on Poshmark, because buyers can send you offers no matter what on Poshmark. You can't stop the offers. So I try to alleviate that a little bit by pricing a little bit higher to account for that. Someone bought this outright. It was nothing special. They just bought it outright for $30, which I was pretty happy with. This is a Stephen Barry's men's Sherpa denim trucker jacket. Stephen Barry's went out of business a long time ago, so they weren't very high quality items. However, because they can no longer be found, and because this denim trucker jacket with the Sherpa lining is really popular right now, I knew that both of those factors paired together would help to sell this, and I was right. This one sold for $35. In any brand, if you can get it for a good cost, any brand with this style where it is a denim trucker jacket with a Sherpa lining or a Sherpa collar, really in right now. This is just a men's Banana Republic Pima cotton cashmere cardigan. I have really good luck with men's cardigans in general. I find that there aren't a lot listed, so usually they sell pretty quickly once you do get them listed. Picked this one up, not for the brand, but for the material, and again, the fact that it was a men's cardigan. This sold on an offer for $31. This is a women's North Face pullover. This is just a really thin fleece pullover, kind of an older style. They do not sell for a ton, but if you can get them cheap, they still do flip quickly. This one sold on an offer for $22. This is a Patagonia men's t-shirt. Probably picked this up for $1 or $2. And as you can see, this is an organic cotton t-shirt. I love picking up Patagonia. Even their t-shirts you can sell for $20 or $25. I thought this was a more rare graphic, so I priced a little higher. It ended up selling on an offer for $23. This one was kind of a random sale. I have been sitting on this for a little while, but sometimes if you have good enough factors, you can sell items. This one was a wool cashmere blend coat, and it was by the brand Gallery, which is not a high-end brand by any means, but it was just a women's black peacoat, and because of the materials, I originally listed it pretty high, and it ended up selling on Poshmark for $45. I think just in general, wool cashmere coats can do really well regardless of brand. You just might have to sit on them for a little bit. These are a pair of Nike Dry Fit They were called the Legend Space Dye Training Tights. And again, I wouldn't have priced these as high had I not looked up the style name. So these ended up selling for $35. This is just a Zara women's printed graphic top. I could not figure out because the material tag on the inside was missing, which is also where the style number would normally be. So I tried to just use keywords to figure out what this top was, and I could not figure it out. So because of that, because it was wacky and weird, and I wasn't sure how long it would sit, I went ahead and priced it a little lower. It ended up selling pretty quickly at $25, so maybe I could have gotten more, but I'm happy with that quick flip. A pair of BKE women's jeans. These are the style Harper. And normally I don't recommend picking up BKE women's jeans, but in this case I must have looked up the style and thought it was worth it, and they ended up selling for $35. A pair of men's Vans shoes. These are high top Vans. They did have a couple marks on the soles, but otherwise were in really great condition. Vans is still really popular right now, and so if you can get shoes for pretty cheap, I'd say it's worth picking up. These ones sold for $30. Here's another case of how I picked up for style and material. The brand is Ann Taylor. And this is an extra fine merino wool sweater jacket. This thing was beautiful. I really loved this. I'm not a big fan of the color brown. If this would have been black, I definitely would have kept it. It felt like such high quality, which was really hard to convey in pictures. This I have had for a while, but it ended up selling for $30. And lastly was another bread and butter item. This is just an LL Bean men's green flannel shirt. I usually price these between $25 and $30. In this case, it sold on an offer for $23.
Alright guys, so that was it for what sold last week. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up on your way out. That way I know that you like this content. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.